I'm gonna start into some gun range etiquette, and that's a safety thing as well. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, and I'll backtrack in a second. Just while I got it on the mind, this strap is really not the ultimate. Um, I haven't really contemplating getting another strap just now because I bought several tactical super duper uh, slings, as that's called, and I don't know what I did with them. I don't know where they are, but they'll turn up, and hopefully they'll turn up in a few days. Once I get Vicky on it, we'll find it. Um, so that's not. This is not the ultimate in slings. Okay. Now I want to show you something, though. If you're going to the range and you're going to shoot, they are really controlled. It ain't like my place where you get to shoot at this and shoot at that, because there's nobody out here for 1,000 yards, and it's a jungle, so we don't have to worry about it. But a range, even if you've got the gun pointed at an incorrect angle or whatever, that thing's going to go forever, and their liability, of course, is tremendous. So anyway, so you've got a rest out here. They're good about issuing sandbags and that kind of stuff. So this can be sandbags, or it could be blocks of wood, or whatever you got, whatever your friends have that you go to their place to shoot. Now, if you shoot, I'm going to forget the angle right now, but if you put any part of that barrel touching, and you think that's going to provide you a good rest, you couldn't be more wrong. If you touch the barrel with anything, as the barrel heats up, or what little recoil they have bounces it off, you're going to miss so bad you may not even be able to find it, which will get you thrown off the range like really quick. So you have to get on something that is not barrel. This is also connected to the barrel. This is a hand guard that I put on this gun, and those are about 160 bucks. It's machined aluminum, and it free floats. It does not touch the barrel. So if you're going to be shooting and you want to be able to hit what you're shooting at, that needs to be what the gun is resting on. Okay? So there are all kind of right ways and wrong ways, according to all the experts that know everything on how to hold a rifle to get it to shoot. There's a whole lot of them now think you reach out here as far as you can reach. This, because it touches the barrel, and that barrel, one shot will get so hot you can't touch it anymore. And 3 or 4 shots, it'll be so hot you will get severely burnt if you touch that. So I'm not crazy about teaching that. That if you watch them on the gun shows and stuff like that, they shoot. This will be longer, be way out here, and they shoot like this. I wasn't taught that way. It seems awkward to me, so I don't do it. Now me, I like shooting with a strap. I take my arm in, turn it, and come back up underneath the strap like this. See, that's got me in a real bind, and it's really tight. And you also get an isometric effect out of it. And if you've got something to put the gun on, or your elbow to brace or whatever, you're going to get a much steadier rifle out of that. Much steadier shot, much better shot. And you can tighten up on it, flex up on it, and the strap is also assisting. And you got a really good grip on it. And then here would be better if you got anything you can, like a tree or a post or something like that. Use every advantage you can possibly use. In the other way, this is all they're going to let you do at a gun range anyway, so that's why I'm going to mention this first. But prone position is really good. And then setting, seated, kneeling, and all those are real good too, but kind of doubt they're going to let you get away with that, because now you're sitting down, you're much lower, and the barrel is starting to come up. You missed whatever it is, and off you go into the wild blue yonder, no telling. Okay? Now, when you're at a range, you get to a range, take the gun out of the box and so forth, you'll have the slide out of the gun. And so that's how you want to carry it. Then when you get to the range and you get a table, and let's just say they've got the goodies out here, you'll put it on the table facing downrange. You can do that. They'll let you get away with this. It's not directly going downrange, but they're picky about it, and they want to see this bolt. See, now you don't see no bolt in there. That's missing. It's back up in here, and we have this pulled out as I pull the bolt back, and so that'll be that way. And the range master can walk by, and he'll look over your shoulder constantly. They're not going to be walking out here. He'll be behind you, and he'll come look, and he'll look over, and he'll see that bolt open, and he don't see a shiny copper or silver reflection where a bullet's in the barrel here, and you're good to go. You might even get a pat on the shoulder. But you walk in there and you got a bullet in the barrel or a magazine in there where they can't see it, you may not ever even get to touch the trigger. You may be sent home right then. Okay? Now, when you go down to the end of the range to go examine your targets, somewhere, somehow, somebody will ask for a ceasefire. And they'll say something like this: clear on the range. And everybody takes their gun. I mean, that's not expected to be immediately, and you have to back off from it like it's on fire, because that doesn't do any good. You still got a hot rifle laying there. They want to see you dump your magazine and open the gun, and it's pretty obvious that there's no magazine here, and that's your safety edge. So this is a 30 round magazine, got a bit of a curl to it. The 20s round looks something like that, about that long. And so you want to load these things. It's got a coil spring back and forth, almost the width of this entire thing, and that comes out right here at the bottom, and they're pretty easy to get out. They were designed to be taken apart in combat. You hook the nose of your bullet back here, and it'll push out, spring comes out, all that. Not complicated, but how to get a weak spring. If that's a 30 round magazine and you put 30 rounds in it and leave it sitting like that for long periods of time, that'll get that spring eventually, because it's too compressed. And so whatever it says it is, if this is 30 rounds and this is 20 rounds, put 5 less in it and count them. You know, if you can't remember that, of course you're in the wrong sport. But back off. Just know that all of your magazines that you collect are loaded at 25, or the shorter ones at 15. Give yourself some room. Give that spring some room so that it doesn't wear out. And so you're at a range, and typically they'll announce fire at will. And so that's when you got all your stuff laid out and your ammo laid out and that kind of stuff. And then, you know, either point it straight up with your finger off the trigger, always. You see it? Okay. Now, so like that, that's good. You know, or there's nobody out here in front of you. You can have the barrel down about so, put this in and bump it. Now, what you're seeing me do right now, boy, this is really working slick, and it doesn't want to come out. But say it's loaded, and you have bullets up there at the top, no matter how many you put in there, it'll take a little extra. So just pushing it home won't necessarily get it. So once in, bump it real good, and about as much as you can stand to the bottom of your hand. Now get a hold of it, see if you can pull it out. If you did it right, you can't pull it out. Alright? Now, when somebody calls a ceasefire and I'm up here firing or whatever, I'm going to stop, bring it up, take the magazine out, clear the round. The bullet will fall out on the ground. Now, because you have the magazine out, no matter how many times you pull back on this cocking lever, it ain't going to stay back. So this is when you either push on the bottom of this or pull the top out, one or the other. And you let it go, and now you can feel there's no pull on that. That means it locked. Okay, set it, lay it down in a safe position, grab your magazine, stick it in your pocket. The last thing you want to do is get shot with your own gun. And there are crazy people out there and stupid people out there that'll do just that. Pick it up to examine it, accidentally bump the bolt and turn, and now they got a hot rifle here. And from there, no telling what goes on. But people are that uncouth. Now, me personally, if I go to a public range and all, I'm gonna wear a concealed weapon. I don't necessarily want them to know I've got it. I'm not giving away my play, but me and a fellow police officer were shooting at a public range once upon a time, and we were shooting at the pistol, and let's say the targets are here, but then that's 25 yards, and now 75 yards on down the way, right next to that was the rifle. We were shooting rifles, and we go down, we called a ceasefire, everybody backed away, we took a hard look, and then we walked on down to the rifle. And sitting like this, we walked past the pistol, and these squirrels back here started shooting at the pistol. Well, the only thing they got back down there to stop a bullet is hay. And those pistol bullets were going right through the hay and zinging by us down there. I yelled, screamed frantically, stop firing, stop firing. Clear the range. And they didn't do it. And a bunch of hippies and shit, and that's when they come out with the Saturday Night Special law, and everybody was going out and buying a pistol, and none of them knew what they were doing. Well, I had a 41 Magnum. I pulled that out, turned back, facing them. Now this would throw you in jail, but as a peace officer, nah. Turned back around, and the tin roof over their head, I leaned out and popped one off through the tin right over the top of their head. They all found somewhere else to go. That's the first time any of them, I'm sure, had ever heard an incoming round, and they changed their mind. But you can get yourself killed at a public range just out of stupidity, and they were.